Alright, here we go with my look at the GI Joe Renegades Cobra Trooper toy. And before we get started here looking at the toy, like always, I'm going to go through and talk about the little character bio on the back of the package here. So let's just grab it here and move in here. And the first thing you'll notice is the artwork here on the front, which I want to kind of point out real quickly. And obviously this is very cartoon looking, so it's a different style from the typical GI Joe figures if you're not already aware of the Renegade series. But that's pretty much what they look like there, and this figure, as you'll see later on, is pretty show accurate to what you're showing here on the package. But anyways, let's go ahead and flip it around here and go through the little file card here. It says code name Cobra Trooper Infantry, name not available, birthplace various countries, primary weapon is the plasma pulse weapon system, and combat gear is security baton. Cobra Troopers are the secret army of the Cobra organization. They have no names and their faces are hidden behind masks. They guard Cobra buildings, perform acts of sabotage and destruction, and hunt for the renegades who are trying to reveal the truth about Cobra and its mysterious leader. So that's a little bio there. So let's kind of take this and set it to the side, and let's get started here looking at this guy. Now, I just picked this guy up the other day. I got him along with the Techno Viper figure. So apparently these guys are all out in the stores. I got mine at my local Toys R Us. So you know, just keep your eyes peeled. You should find them if you haven't found them already. But anyways, let's kind of zoom in here and look at him up close. And let's go in a little bit more. So as you can see here, that's the Cobra Trooper there. Now he does have a mask on. He comes with two different heads actually. He's got this head here, which matches what was shown on the front of the package there. I'm trying to catch that in the camera. It's kind of blurring here. Let's see if that'll focus. There we go. So again, it's pretty cartoon accurate, which is kind of interesting too, because on the little bio there it says they wear masks, but on the front of the package they show him without a mask on. But he does have a masked version of his head there, so you could pop that one on, and I kind of like that one. Makes him look more mysterious. But anyways, so you'll notice that they're kind of going for a SWAT team sort of look with this guy, kind of like the Cobra Shock Trooper figure that they did last year. So kind of similar to that in a way. But I like his little vest here with the nice big Cobra logo there on the front, and it's got all those little pouches and things here on the sides. And the vest here just clips on like usual, and it should be removable. I haven't actually tried to take mine off, but you know, you should be able to pop it off without too much effort. And on the back here it says security, so again, they're kind of going with a different look for the Cobra Troopers here on the Renegade series. Again, kind of more of a police force as opposed to a military look for the figure here. And again, there's some little Cobra insignias there on his shoulders. It's got the sleeves rolled up, some gloves. There's this little plasma pulse cannon. And if we move on down, like they were saying, he's got his little baton there. And if you notice here on the back, he actually comes with some little handcuffs. And there's a little hole there for you to kind of attach them there like so. At least I'm assuming that's what you're supposed to do with it. That's how I got mine. And let's just kind of go on down here some more. There's his legs. And he's got some knee pads here, and these are actually removable. You can pop these off. I'm not sure if these are the same as the little knee pads or armor plates or whatever it was that came with the Iron Grenadier figure from the previous wave, but they look very similar. I just think that the paint apps on it are slightly different. I'd have to pull that figure out and look at it, but you can pop these off, so be aware of that. I do wish, however, that maybe they could have made this little peg a little smaller, because if you don't like these on here and you want to take them off, it looks kind of funky with that great big thing sticking out of his knee. But they just pop on and off like that. And of course he's got his little character stand here that says Cobra Trooper on it. So that's pretty much him there up close. And like I said, he does come with the extra head, so basically you just take this one here and pop it off, and then just slam this one back on here. See if I can get that in there, like so. So there you go, he's got his little head. I do wish, however, that they would have made the little collar here a little bit shorter, because it kind of, I don't know, makes his head look kind of goofy, and I don't got this on all the way. Let's see if I can get that in there all the way. There we go. See, because once you get his head in there all the way, it kind of really covers up his face a lot, which is not too bad of a look, but you know, if you kind of make him tilt down, it looks like, I don't know, like he's a ninja or something, which kind of goofy looking. But anyways, let's take this head off. I like the other one better. Just kind of shove that one back on there. Oops. I think it looks better with the little visor and everything that he's got there. So yeah, so I think it looks better like that. But the other little complaint I have is his little gun here, his plasma rifle. You can kind of see the way it is here with the little magazine here in the back and this little like grip or whatever. It's a very awkward gun the way they designed it, and getting in his hand here can be kind of a pain. So just be aware of that if you do pick this guy up. But I think the trick is to just kind of shove it in like this first and then just kind of rotate it around. If you try to put it in straight, it's just too hard because there's no gap hardly here between the actual grip and the magazine. So getting it in his hand is just really hard if you try to put it in like this. I don't know, maybe mine just needs to be loosened up, but I find that just kind of going in like this and then rotating it seems to help out. But that's his little gun, and he does have his little baton here, as you can see, and that, you know, you take it out. Unfortunately, there's no place really to stick it here. I guess you could probably peg it in right back here. I haven't actually really tried that, but it doesn't really look like it's meant to go in there. But I guess you can store it in there, but it's kind of goofy. And like I said, his little handcuffs here just attach like so, and you can pop those out, and these should fit around pretty much any of the figure's wrists like that, so you can, you know, have them capture some GI Joes and handcuff them, or do something much worse with them. But that's pretty much all the accessories that this guy's got. The articulation on him is pretty much the standard run-of-the-mill articulation for GI Joe figures these days. The head here is going to be a little limited because of the high collar here. Shoulders can go all the way around. They can go up and down like that. You can do that. The wrists here just basically rotate. They don't have any extra joints in here to bend them up and down or in and out. The torso area can't really move too much because of the vest on here. And his legs, hips, ball jointed, knees are double jointed. And the feet can rotate around and kind of go up and down a little bit. He's got the little pant legs here, which kind of hamper the movement just a little bit. So that's pretty much everything there is to this guy. I think it's a kind of cool version of the Cobra Troopers. It's something a little different. Again, they kind of went more with this sort of security force or SWAT team kind of looking design with this guy, which is, I think, is kind of cool. It's just something different, a little change of pace from the typical sort of military looking Cobra Trooper. So yeah, it's kind of a cool little version I have of this guy. So yeah, again, these guys should be out in the stores now. So if you see them and you like the way this guy looks, or you like the character and all that, you know, go ahead and pick it up. So I think it's a pretty decent figure. So with that, I'll wrap it up here with my look at the GI Joe Renegades Cobra Trooper figure.